Guys, welcome back to another episode of Takeover Tuesday. I have not seen all of you in so long. Oh my goodness. I was just thinking before I went on and before I went live, I was like, it's been so long. We had our full week of countdown to Christmas, and we had, even before that, we were doing our shows, and it's just been, guys, this holiday season has just been crazy, but I'm so glad that I can sit down and chat with you guys. So if this is your first time, my name is Kennedy. Welcome back to Takeover Tuesday. I'm here every Tuesday, 10 a.m. We're always doing something different, whether it's a project, whether we're just chatting, or whether we have a takeover today. And for the first time in a while, we have Grace Company coming in to take over Takeover Tuesday. I'm so excited. I think it's been maybe the past couple of months, it's been you and me. We just sit and chat and do a project, but Melinda over at Grace actually reached out and we were chatting about something that I am very passionate about because I do not have a long arm yet, but I have been really dreaming of a long arm. I've been seeing all of the different things, and I'm so lucky I get to, work here and see all the different machines on all of our shows and really see all the amazing things that these long arms can do. And there's one long arm that I have always just had my eye on all throughout, I think probably within the last 6 months. I've gotten to this phase where I really like quilting, and I really like all of just the things that come with quilting. And I really think that the whole science behind long arm quilting is just so fascinating and so interesting. So we're going to be talking about the 19X today. It's a 19-inch long arm machine that I just am always blown away by. Every time Grace is on and they're chatting about it, or we see it in stores, or we even have it on the floor when we're talking about it, I love playing with it and messing around with it. You'll always see me. Most of the time I'm at the stores writing my name in cursive on the quilting frames with all the Grace machines because they're so amazing. So I'm super excited to talk to Grace today, and I'm just excited that we have someone new coming on and chatting about some fun stuff. And we have a really exciting package that if I were to jump on any of the packages that we've seen throughout this year, this one would be the one. And I don't normally... with Takeover Tuesday, we have SMP Live where we have lots of demos and lots of sales going on. I don't do a lot of sales or product types of specials on this show. So when I do, it's because I really love it, and it's because it's a product that I really love to see and is on my wish list for Christmas, of course. But before we get into that, really quickly, I just want to say hi to some of you guys because I'm seeing the comments going crazy, and it's been so long that I get to chat with you guys. Of course, I'm behind the scenes, like with Countdown to Christmas. I was looking at the comments all the time, and I'm the one basically doing all of the graphics and all the stuff. Everything you see on screen is what I do. So you don't see me, but I'm there. I promise. I am there. But I love hearing your guys' favorite things from Countdown. I personally enjoyed the embroidered Christmas cards from Becky Thompson, and I loved Carly Bell's project. She had the little ornament, the embroidered ornament. You guys can still get that free design if your website, or we did share it on our Facebook page. So if you scroll down a few posts. Oh, can you guys not hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? We good? I don't know. I'm seeing some comments saying you guys can hear me or can't hear me. Well, it's breaking up. How weird. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm saying you guys can hear me fine, or I'm breaking up. Okay. Well, give me 1 second while I work on that. It is breaking up. Okay. Hold on. 1 second. We're just having a little thing. Can you check that, Kyle? Am I sounding okay?
It sounds okay in StreamYard.
Okay. I'm breaking up. All right. Give me 1 second. I want you guys to be able to hear me.
I'm saying it good now.
Okay. I'm going to let it go then.
It sounds okay.
Okay.
I'll listen to it.
Okay. I've got a listener back here who's going to let me know if we're breaking up. Sorry about that. That's very weird. Okay. Well, since I'm having some issues, I'm going to go ahead and talk to Grace about this amazing machine and the amazing things that we have along with it. So let's chat. And I believe we have Melinda and Jarek on today. So let's talk to my friends over there. Hi, guys.
Hey, Kennedy, how are you today?
Hey, I am good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, you're
you
coming through
sound
just fine
perfect,
for us.
so-
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure, the Wi-Fi gremlins are always out on the prowl, so just had to make sure. But like I was saying earlier, I'm so excited to chat with you guys about this machine because it has been on my wish list for so long, and I feel like the things that we have today and the deals that we have going on through the next, I guess, through the end of the year and up until this particular model sells out, we have some really amazing packages and some specials. And Melinda, you came through with some too. So I'm really excited to talk about those as well. But I'm going to let you guys just take it away while I fix this audio issue that I seem to be having. But I'm so excited for you guys to talk about the 19X.
All right. Well, Kennedy, we're happy to be here.
Absolutely.
I love that the 19X is kind of your dream machine because I'm not going to lie. It's if I were to take a machine home, yes, I can talk and boast about all of our machines.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, for the price, for what I can accomplish with it, the 19X is like the perfect machine to go home with.
Absolutely. She looks pretty. She sews pretty. She's really great. And we talked about it. I mean, in a lot of videos I've done, I've been a no 19 enthusiast. I try not to harp on it too much because it's like, oh yeah, we got to share some love for some other machines. But since we're here focusing on it, no, absolutely, it's hands down one of my favorite machines.
I don't think it gets enough credit that it deserves, by all means.
It's the middle child, so it's kind of in it's not in one end or the other. So sometimes it's easy to overlook, but it's not just a middle child at all. It is fantastic.
Yep. Kevin from Home Alone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
19X is Kevin. Shucks, darn. So, but I love the machine. It's a full 19-inch throat, 2,100 stitches per minute. It has the external screen display. Yes, it's a smaller screen, but at the end of the day, it still does everything that you need it to do. Again, 2,100 stitches. It still has the edge warning that's built into the screen, 4 stitch modes: cruise, precise, manual, based, built-in bobbin winder, M-class bobbins.
I mean, just like you're going and going and going. I'm like, well, I'm glad we got an hour here because we're gonna have to go through all those that you just said because wow, there's a whole ton of things going on with this that are really great.
Yes. Now today's emphasis though, Jarek, is we're talking about the 19X recertified machine. So to me, it doesn't matter if it's one of our quilting machines, if it's, some other technical gadget or device. I find myself, I oftentimes look at recertified options because they're so much more budget friendly, easier pill to swallow,
Absolutely.
than that huge price tag for the same quality.
Absolutely. And I did buy something recertified recently. It was a laptop. And you got to do some research out there to see, okay, well, what does this company mean when they say recertified? Because that does make a difference.
And varies from
it
company
varies
to
to varies. And I think our recertified is on definitely the top end because it's basically a new machine. They're not scratch and dent. They're not used. They're like ones that have been opened and repackaged, and we've just checked to make sure everything's in there, and then we're giving it at an astounding price with a new warranty. So
what?
I know, a brand new warranty. So
and our warranty's phenomenal to begin with.
It is.
So tell us a little bit more about that warranty, Jarek.
So it's 2 years on the electronics and the mechanical. So that is all the boards, the encoders, the screen, any sort of electronic component in there that could have a problem. If that goes wrong within 2 years, that's basically like a no questions asked sort of, oh, hey, look, we see you're in warranty. let's see if we can fix it. Is this a problem? I've had problems where I just didn't plug it in right, and it's just like, oh, someone else had to just look at it. It's like, oh, okay. Or it came unplugged, someone bumped it, or, the gremlins that run around the sewing room, they just did something to it, threw it out of whack.
They're like the gremlins that steal the socks out of the dryer,
Yeah,
right?
they are.
Internet
They really
gremlins, sewing room gremlins. Gremlins are out to get us.
Yeah, especially around Christmas, right?
Yes.
So anything like that can go wrong, there's a warranty that replaces those items, and the 19.
But all in all, it's still a 10-year limited warranty, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so gotta love it. It's the exact same as our new machines, but again, fraction of the cost. I know a lot of our recertified models, Jarek, we obtain from a machine from customers who are maybe upgrading to a different machine. These machines may come from our showroom, our studio, our classrooms, gently used, gently loved, and they come in, to be swapped out. Same with our dealers. We may accept a trade-in from a machine they've had on their showroom floor. The machines come in, our sewing lab team goes through these machines pretty much with a fine-tooth comb, right?
Absolutely. So talking from experience here, I worked here for almost 5 years now, and my first year working here, I worked in the sewing lab. So that's where these machines come into, and also new machines come into, and we check them. And the process for a recertified machine, I would say, is maybe even more in-depth, just because we're looking to make sure that machine is going to be in absolute perfect condition, because it has been opened before. So we just need to take the extra precautions. So we do really look through there, and we give it a really good looking through and test it, and we sew off on it, make sure she's stitching beautifully before we send it out to the customer. We're packaging it all up. It comes with everything brand new, so there's not anything unboxed. Sometimes you get like a recertified and it's like a different box. It's like a brown box, and you're like, is this really?
Or the
it's
cable
kind of like
looks
different
questionable.
Packaging. You're like,
It's
okay, is this like
wait a minute.
the original cable that came with it? So everything is in there. It's like, if you're opening up a new iPhone, it would just be like that new same iPhone experience where like every single thing's in there. So,
and I compare kind of the unboxing, receiving a recertified machine. We're taking the gently loved, gently used machine, taking it back to as close to factory finish as possible.
Absolutely.
For the recertifieds. So it's still top-notch quality. We're making sure the machine is in tip-top condition. So ultimately, the machine can take care of you, your sewing projects, and your sewing journey. So I love it. I love it. Phenomenal warranty. You can't beat that 10-year limited warranty, and then, all the perks of the recertified machines. Yes, I love our brand new machines too, but my money tree is depleting this year. I don't know about anybody else, but those leaves are falling pretty quick. I'm glad for a new year coming up, but new year, new machine, make your sewing room, the best it can be, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, the recertified is absolutely such a good option, because it is a lot of bang for your buck, because you're really basically getting a brand new machine that's just been repackaged after being used a little bit. It's like, maybe we use, like Melinda said, we have classes here, we do shows, so there's a lot of different places that can come from, and it's all really phenomenal shaped machines. So
yes. Let's take a bit of a closer look though at our machines. So all of our machines have fully adjustable ergonomical handles. Think of it like your steering wheel in your car. Again, it's adjustable, oftentimes telescoping, so forwards, backwards. You can tilt. These handlebars will do that as well. Again, just giving you the ease, the comfort. I know when I quilt, and I don't have very much time to quilt, but when I do quilt, I like to get in the zone. I want to be comfortable. I'm making those adjustments to my handles so I can be as comfortable as possible. And I know I've seen you do the same, Jarek.
Absolutely. I would say comfort is maybe I don't know if I would say overlooked, but I almost say overlooked sort of point when it comes to sewing and quilting. It's the same sort of thing, you know, if you're working at a desk or any sort of thing that you're doing for a long amount of time, anything that's gonna help you stay in there longer without feeling any sort of discomfort in your arms or in your back, because you know that just can really ruin your kind of mood for continuing on. So having this adjustability and also the adjustability in the frames that we'll talk about later really helps it get to where it's perfect for you and you can keep sewing all day long. Because I know a lot of you out there have a lot of quilts going on, so you got to be able to stay comfortable and happy while you're quilting.
And the thing, you know, what can be comfortable for Jarek isn't going to be comfortable for me.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a height difference here that's going on. So it's like, you know, you'd have to adjust this up or down. And the really great thing about this too, I'll show right here, is that the handles, they come out. So if you can't really reach all the way to the back or you don't even want to, this makes it super easy to reach all the way to the front. You know, that way you're not having to lean over or reach out. You can see that this right here, I'll adjust it again. You know, this slides back and forth right there.
And then of course it turns and yes, so I love it. You know, I want to be comfortable. Think about it like, you know, after a long day's work, you get home, take off your shoes, get out of your work clothes, you're in comfy clothes, extend that to your quilting. You know, continue and make your quilting experience comfortable as well. So the next thing I want to talk about, since we're still talking about the handlebars, all of your functionality is available right at the tips of your fingers. So you have your needle up, needle down, you have your start, stop. Over here we can adjust our stitches per inch, we can go up, we can come down. All of those adjustments right at your fingertips. Again, ease, comfortable. You know, it's all right there, ready for you to begin quilting. If we take another peek at our display, so we have the 4 different stitch modes. Right now we're on regulated precise. We have regulated cruise, based, and manual. Jarek, tell us a little bit about the differences in some of those stitch modes. Why would somebody want to use one over the other?
Good question. There is a few different reasons of why you would want to use precise or cruise mode, and then the manual and the based. So I'll give you an idea here, kind of where you'd use precise. So precise is a mode that is just regular stitch regulated. And a lot of us are familiar with stitch regulated, but just in case you're not familiar, that means that we are, I'll just show you an example here because that's really kind of the easiest way to explain it. When I press this button right here, you can see my machine is not sewing. I've activated it, but now when I move it, you can hear it speed up and slow down, and that is because it's speeding up the motor speed to keep our stitches the same exact length apart. And on our screen,
and it's dependent on how fast or how slow you're moving the machine across the frame, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. And so it's still keeping that there, you adjust your stitches per inch is what it's called, SPI. And so right now we have it on a 10 SPI, which is a very regularly used stitch per inch. And so you can imagine if you had a higher stitch per inch, that means there's more stitches per inch. The stitches are going to be smaller. And then some people like a low stitch per inch because it almost looks a little bit more towards the hand quilted side. So you can get that look that you're looking for with the lower or higher stitches per inch. So this is always going to keep that stitch exactly that same length, and if you're going too fast for the motor to keep up with, which is kind of hard to do because this machine has quite a fast motor. I've just seen some people, some of us like to go real fast. So it's got a little warning for you. It'll do a beep, and it can also do a light that will just like warn you. It'll flash on here and say, hey, you're going a little too fast. You need to slow down to keep your stitches per inch exactly the same speed.
Right.
So that is precise mode. And now the next mode, which I would say is my favorite one, it's not the best for everything, but it is very useful in points. So if you want to go into a corner and do extra stitches, this is perfect for that because you will notice when I'm going to press start on here, it's automatically stitching and I'm not moving the machine. So it's stitching, and then when I sew, it's going to keep stitching. So what that does, Melinda, is it stitches, and if you want to do a point, you can just let it do a few more stitches in there because it's going to go, a few smaller stitches in that corner, so it accentuates that corner. So it's good for if you're doing like a right angle or a star, any sort of thing like that. It's really fantastic, and it also is great because it's never stopping all the way, so it kind of helps you keep more of a groove. So
I know I like crews, like if I'm micro stippling or filling in an area. I have that constant needle up, needle down, it's stitching, whether I'm, when I'm micro stippling or filling in those areas, I tend to be moving my machine a little bit slower, but I'm not missing or skipping those important stitches. For me, it's helpful, again, like I said, micro stippling, filling areas, sews beautifully. So again, you don't have to worry about any inconsistencies with stitch length or size. Again, it's fully regulated, that needle going up and down, creating those beautiful stitches for you.
Absolutely, and I'll just say something here too about the machine and the way I move in general. I've a lot of people at big shows that we go to. There's a couple different brands that you can go try between them, but I know something people always comment on our machines is that they're very smooth, and that has to do with the stitch regulation and also the dual wheels on it. So ours really allow you to glide along when you're doing both of these modes very smoothly in both directions.
Yes, yes, love it. So our next stitch style is going to be our based. Now, Jarek, I always tell people with our frames, they're designed, you really don't have to baste on our quilts, but we're creatures of habit. Whether it was our mother, our grandmother, our auntie, somebody taught us when we started quilting that we have to baste our quilts. So yes, we still have that option with the baste. We have the short, medium, long stitch options. So again, creature of habits, you will still have that phenomenal option to baste your quilts as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't have to baste on here, you just got to do the quilt sandwich. And so it's just in there just in case you want to, because everyone has their own sort of way that they want to do it, and that is awesome because we all have our own processes and the way that we like to do things, just like the adjustable handles. Some of us would like to baste still, and so that's why the option's in there.
I like the comment from Teresa. I am that creature. You and me both, Teresa. So I do like to baste. I even though the frame pretty much does it, holds sandwiches, my fabric together anyways, I still like to baste just for that extra layer of protection. So I know nothing's going to shift and move, throughout that quilt process. So I'm that creature too.
Absolutely. And our last mode now here, Melinda, is manual. So you might think to yourself, okay, well, if I have stitch regulation, why would I need manual? And manual still comes in a lot of handy depending on what you want to do. And you might find that you like it for certain designs. I know for me, one I like to use manual for is actually like the meandering stitch because it's going at that constant speed. And the different kind of stitch modes will give you a sort of different kind of resistance and feel when you're moving the machine around. And so having that consistent stitch going in and out constantly, it makes it so it's really easy to move this at a constant speed. And you kind of get into a little bit of a flow with going on your meandering stitch, especially for like micro stippling as well. It's really great for some micro stippling on there or any sort of smaller thing. Manual really shines in that sort of area.
Yes, and Jarek, there are quilters out there. Carla, she's our director of education. She's been quilting her whole life for a very long time, and I would compare kind of the manual mode to what you would experience with your domestic machine. I don't want to say there's no rhyme or reason, for the needle, the speed the needle is moving up and down and how fast, you're pushing your quilt through or your fabric through. But it's no rhyme or reason, but at the same time, some people have excellent control over what their stitches will look like in manual mode. I'm not quite there yet. Like I said, Carla, our director of education, is. I know she does so many of her quilts in manual mode. Some people love it, some people don't and would prefer the regulated modes. But again, the beauty of the machine is you have those 4-stitch options built right in. So again, the machine's taking out a lot of the guesswork for you, depending, of course, upon what settings you choose and what your end goal for your project is.
Right, and just like you're saying there too, if you get used to the precise mode and you get used to the movements and doing the shapes, then maybe you can try out doing some manual mode to see if you like it, because then you have the flow down kind of for that, and you'd be like, oh, do I want to try out some manual, see what that looks like, because it does have a different look as well, because they're not going to all be right the exact same stitch length, so they all kind of give you a little bit different of a look. And so it's great to have that option for what you want to do for your, your unique project that you're spending your time and love and energy on.
Yes. So we've talked about, those 4-stitch modes, phenomenal, great options for your quilting, for your quilts, for your quilting journey. Again, I can't think of too many features this machine is lacking for somebody, who has their budget in mind, has space confinements in mind. Today, Jerk, we're pairing the 19X machine beautifully with our Qzone hoop frame and our Qzone queen frame. So I know a few minutes ago we talked about we'll get into the frames a little bit later.
Yeah, we mentioned that a little bit in there.
Do you think we're quite there yet?
I think so. There was one last thing I thought about on the 19 that I wanted to quickly mention, and that is the built-in bobbin winder. Because you were listing features, it needs everything, and I was like going through, I'm like, yeah, what do you need to sew with? And I'm like, bobbins, you need bobbins. And this has a beautiful built-in bobbin winder on it, and it's actually like a laser sensing one too, so it will automatically shut off. There's no mechanical bit in there. And the reason why I don't like the mechanical ones, Melinda, is because I find that because you're always pushing it back and forwards, that little knob has a tendency to turn, and so it gets thrown off. So that way my bobbins are not winding anymore, and I have to keep adjusting it. And then no one wants to sew with like a bobbin that's like kind of wrong. Right. So this keeps it consistent 100% of the time, and it's a really easy start and stop button right here.
And one other thing I love about our bobbin winder, the motor for the bobbin winder, it's completely separate from the machine.
Absolutely. So
keep in mind, you can literally wind your bobbin in like 30 seconds, but excuse me, but if you had time, to quilt at the same time, that can matter because you're utilizing 2 separate motors at once. You're not trying to do 2 separate things on one motor at once. But again, literally 30 seconds or less. I promise you, you can wind your bobbins that quickly.
Yeah, and it's super, like you're saying, you can do it at exactly the same time, Melinda, and it winds quick. And then you can see we also have 2 places for where you can put your thread on the machine. So the front one and the back one. There's just 2 spots you can put it on. So one, you can have your main thread and you keep your bobbin thread on there, and then you can have it threaded through back here, and they're independent of each other. So you don't need some of the threading spots for one as you do on the other. As a lot of other machines have. You kind of either can wind bobbins or you can be sewing, because they either use the same motor or they use the same threading spaces, so you kind of have to do one or the other. So this is great that you can, it'll take 30 seconds, but come on, like there's 30 more seconds that you could use.
30 more seconds of quilting, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you need that.
Sometimes. Mine's more like 30 minutes more, but another day, another story. The machine itself, it's phenomenal. Again, we talked about, we've paired the 19X beautifully with our Qzone Queen and our Qzone hoop frames. Right. Now, I love these frames. Again, they're budget friendly. There's the hoop style option. There's also the rolling rail option. The sky's the limit for what you can do pairing the right machine with the right frame, the right sewing room, the right area, you can achieve and accomplish so much. So
absolutely. And Melinda, these are both really fantastic frames like you're saying, and really what it boils down to is what's best for you. And there's a couple differences between these that is going to make one of these work better for you, depending on the situation with how much space you have. But they're both right around that same price range. So
yes.
Let's go over some of the things that a hoop frame versus a rolling frame would be good for.
Yes, okay, so let's start with our hoop style frame. I love a hoop style frame because it takes a small footprint in any area. So Jarek, this frame, it's about 5 feet wide, right?
Yeah, it's 4.5 feet exactly about. And you can see that this frame looks about the same size as this other frame, but we'll explain in a second. The other frame's actually split down half. This is the real size that this frame is. So if you take a look at this and you're like, oh, I could fit that, I bet you can fit this somewhere because it is at 4.5 feet, and
yes.
It really does fit a lot of places.
Yes, so taking up that small footprint, but at the same time, you can quilt any size quilt on this frame. So I'll tell people, anything as small as a table runner or a crib size quilt, all the way up to a king or larger. And people will kind of look at you funny. It's like, wait, how is that possible?
I was going to say,
it's only 4.5 feet.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. You can't do that. But lo and behold, you can. So let's show everybody, what we're taking. How is that possible with the Qzone hoop frame?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll explain it here because this, like you said, Melinda, people are like, how does that work? I'm looking here, I'm thinking king size quilt. How is that fitting on 4.5 inches, 4.5 foot? And so the way that I say it, that people they light up and they're like, oh, it's like, okay, so are we familiar with embroidery machines where you're hooping a small section and then you're unclamping it, moving to the next section? Well, this is exactly the same way, but on a bigger scale. And instead we're quilting instead of embroidering.
Yes.
So
now Sharon Bingham has the question, so like a fancy cutie. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So the Qzone hoop, it's not a tabletop frame. It has dedicated legs that the frame will stand on. So it's should have a dedicated space in your sewing area for the frame to be set up all of the time. But again, we're talking about, you can quilt any size quilts. I know I interrupted you, Jarek.
Oh, no,
I apologize,
right.
but
but that is a great comment. It is kind of like a fancy cutie, just for that reason you're saying there, Melinda, because it has its own legs. This one has its own dedicated space. So if you have that 4.5 feet, you don't want to worry about taking it down. You don't want to worry about getting a table. This is a fantastic option over the cutie because this is permanently set up, and you can also get casters if you do want to move it around. But yeah, like the way it works as a hoop frame, you're going zone to zone, you're going section to section. People ask me, okay, Jarek, well, where do I need to start? And you can start anywhere you want, to be honest. I would probably, it's like hand quilting, you want to start in the center and kind of go out from it. Or you can do it like a book. You can do it from the top left, you can go across, whatever way works for you. And there's lots of different resources out there for frame quilters. And the great thing about this frame and the cutie frame and any hoop frame is it's all like a blank canvas. It's like all the same paintbrush, just slightly different grip, right? So they're all interchangeable with the kind of the principles that work behind them. So there's like great resources out there about the cutie frame, great resources about the hoop frame, and you can really apply those to each other as well. So there's really lots of good videos and content all out there about learning how to use these.
Yes.
And people who are quite frankly a little bit more qualified than I am, because I haven't even finished my first quilt yet, it's coming along, but there's people that have completed, maybe they can't even count how many quilts a day.
I almost said, you haven't finished it yet?
I know, it's been a long time.
That sounds a little mean, so, but I still said it, so there.
Yeah. I haven't finished it yet. I'm planning to, okay? Everyone knows UFOs, okay? Yeah.
Do you have just the one UFO, though?
Yeah, just the one UFO.
Okay.
So
let's change that.
Yeah, I gotta change it. We're gonna make it happen, all right, everyone?
Yes.
So if I were ever to get a frame, I've got like a one-bedroom apartment, and this is definitely like the one thing that I could fit in there. It would definitely be a toss-up between a cutie and one of these, because if I'm like, oh, I really want to do a lot of quilting, then I'd probably go with one of these. But if like, oh, I'm just dipping my toes, then I'd probably go with the cutie frame. But if you know you like quilting, and I know a lot of you out there know you like quilting, then this is the one for you.
Yes, yes. And I completely agree. You know, at my house, I don't have a ton of space. I have about enough space, you know, for an average size desk, you know, to set up in my house. Lo and behold, the Qzone hoop frame, it's about the size of an average desk. I could totally set this up in my house. My rule of thumb for people is get quilting products, one, that fit in your budget, and two, that fit in your space. For me, again, that would be the Qzone hoop frame. Again, I talked about my obsession with the 19X machine just because, again, you know, it's kind of that redheaded stepchild, the middle child, you know, Kevin from Home Alone. You know, it doesn't get the love that it deserves, but it's such a fantastic machine. So.
Absolutely. It is hands down my favorite machine. Going back to my story about working in the quality check department, I always just loved working with this machine because they sew beautifully, like right out of the gate. Not that the other ones are too much of a problem, but this one was just like the least effort. And maybe that's the same thing with like the middle child. You know, sometimes the youngest has more problems, the oldest has more problems, that middle child, you're just gliding through that one. So anyway, yeah, it's just a really great machine. It's a joy to stitch with. And also, quite frankly, it's a beautiful machine. It used to be like a lighter blue, kind of like our shirts, and now this dark blue, I just think is so gorgeous.
It makes it sleek.
It is.
You know, you can see perfectly like the pad printing on the side of the machine. It shows us how, you know, to thread the machine. You know, you can see it just here right on the side coming down from the thread mast, you know, just all the way through all the nooks and crannies. Until we get all the way down to our needle. You know, so that darker color with the contrast of that pad printing makes it easier to see. I know when I started quilting with our machines, I was like, I have no idea how to thread these machines. You know, it looks complicated.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't that bad. It isn't that bad. I made it more complicated for myself than anything. And I think that's, again, you know, one of those things, it's human nature. We're going to complicate things that don't need to be complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love how it's printed right on, like you're saying. And we had a gorgeous shot. Look at it right there. I just want everyone, you know, take for a second, imagine this in your house, because it is gorgeous. And imagine walking there in the morning and seeing this in your sewing room. It just calls out to you. It's like, hey, I want you to use me.
Come sew with me.
Come sew with me. It's
Come
like,
use
oh,
me.
she's beautiful. So
press my buttons.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's like, you know, a thing that people overlook sometimes, but being excited about the way your machine and things look is super huge, because you're probably going to use it more because you like the way they look. It's just how we are. Sometimes we're just like, I like the way it looks, so I want to use it. So.
Yes.
Yeah,
my
awesome.
husband shops that way, and it drives me nuts. It's like, you know, he buys for looks, not practicality. But I will say the 19X,
It's
you
got
know,
both.
No, it has both.
Not everything has
right
both.
At the top, you know, so it has both. You're in good hands with the 19X. So we talked about the Qzone hoop frame. Again, it's a hoop style frame. So yes, you can quilt any size quilt. You can start kind of anywhere in your project with the quilt. But again, you're shifting or hooping the fabric from side to side across the frame. And then of course advancing the fabric. So I will say, yes, it's a little bit of work, but at the end of the day, so much easier to hoop and shift fabric across the frame than it is to push a quilt through a machine. That's my opinion.
Oh my gosh, it's like night and day difference. Let me tell you. So I I went a long time without trying push-down quilting because I just had the luxury of, selling these awesome machines, which are free motion. And so then when we started having our little Rebel machine and some other ones, we were testing out with push quilting. So that way I could get used to it. And here's the thing that shocked me is my arms got sore in 10 minutes. And
we only had that little.
I'm healthy and it's I'm getting worn out already. How are these ladies doing this all day long? Holy cow. My respect for push quilting just skyrocketed. I was wow, they need to get this because this is such a huge ergonomic relief. It is so worth the time it takes to move the quilt around because that doesn't take that much effort. You're just kind of moving it around and clipping it versus wrestling a rodeo 10 pounds worth of fabric constantly for hours. So it's huge.
I would cry. I know I would have a few choice words and I would need a very strong drink afterwards to help me recover from push quilting. But, so it's not for everybody. I will say through and through, I am a machine and frame quilter, not a hand quilter, not a push quilter. Strictly, I will be a machine and frame quilter.
Yeah,
there, I said it.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's move over to our next frame. Here we have our Qzone Queen frame. And Jarek, I'm super excited with the Qzone Queen frame. One, because we have that awesome brand new extension that's available, or it's on our website. The Qzone Queen frame, it's an 8-foot rolling rail frame, but we have that 2-foot extension, takes it up to a 10-foot rolling rail frame. I love the Qzone Queen frame. Again, it's budget friendly, fits within my budget. I personally just don't have the space for something quite this big, but a lot of people do have that space. So tell us, Jarek, what are some of your favorite things about the Qzone Queen?
I'll tell you some of my favorite things about it. And I saw someone here in the comments, they said, Jarek, you got to build up to it. And here's the thing, I don't want to have to build up to it. And this just makes it so much easier than having to get out and use all that effort. And we already spend a lot of effort on all sorts of different things. So this is another step with that, because now instead of having to move anything around, now we actually just have everything on a rail. So like you were saying, this comes in up to a 10-foot. So the size of your frame determines how big of a quilt you can do versus a hoop frame, because this one can do this one does up to a set size, but you can do anything smaller than the largest size that your frame is. So if we have a 10-foot, we can do up to a king size, and a 8-foot frame without the extension, that'd be up to a queen size frame.
Yes.
Quilt. And so all you do is you attach it to the back, and then when we're done with this section, Melinda, all we're gonna do is we're gonna spin this, and it's gonna go to the next section. So it's just so easy. If you wanna release the pins on both of those for me here. Yep, and release on we just need to do one. And then you take this one off right here. Come on now, there we go. And you can just see, I move right up to the next section, and then I'm ready to start quilting again.
I love the Qzone Queen frame. Again, I just said I'm a machine and frame quilter. Yes, I have space for the Qzone hoop frame in my home. Here at Grace Company, though, because I've had access to everything, all of our wonderful machines and frames, I gravitate more towards the rolling rail frames because they're a tad bit easier. But at the same time, my house sounds like your house as well. You can accommodate a smaller scale frame. So again, so many options. The 19X pairs beautifully with either of these two frames. Qzone Queen frame, again, out of the box, it's an 8-foot frame. You can quilt up to the queen size quilt. We do have that wonderful extension that can be added on now or later, taking the frame up to a 10-foot frame. But I love it. The frame has its own dedicated legs. Again, because of the size, you would need, I would say you would want to have the frame set up in a permanent location in your home. So definitely some things to consider. At the end of the day, you're the one that can make those choices. Do I go with the hoop style frame, rolling rail frame? What's going to work best for me?
Absolutely. And because it is a very close in price range between both of these, I would say if you have the space, personally, I would definitely go with a queen size frame because it is, as you saw, really, really easy to go to our next section of quilting. And where the hoop frame really shines is if you don't have that space, because it gives you that option to do any size you want. You're not limited to do only like a crib size or something small because you have a small area to quilt in. If you only have 4.5 feet, you are still able to access any size and make any size that you want with your quilting machine.
Yes.
So that's really the biggest difference. If you don't have space, Qzone Hoop is awesome. If you do have the space, Qzone Queen is amazing because, like I said, so easy
Yes.
to just roll
Super
it up.
easy, super affordable. So again, today, Jarek, we've talked about our recertified 19X Elite. We've talked about our Qzone hoop frame. We've talked about our Qzone Queen frame. The sky's the limit. We're coming up to a new year, new machine. Get something that's going to help you make your quilting experience, journey, just so much easier. I'm a firm believer, work smarter, not harder.
Oh, absolutely.
I carry that with me pretty much in anything that I do. And Grace Company, again, a firm believer kind of in that saying, because we're innovative, making products for quilters that will make their experience so much easier.
Absolutely. And one really important thing that I like to bring up too, because a lot of people when they hear work smarter, not harder, I firmly believe that, but some people have a tendency to be like, oh, well, then you're just being lazy, or, oh, there's some sort of compromise, and there doesn't have to be a compromise, and that's what our company strives for. So we're not compromising on the quality of the machine, we're not compromising on anything like that. So it is that professional grade equipment at an affordable price because we're not trying to charge you an arm and a leg for that name brand. We're trying to get you something for home-based quilters, or professional quilters, but really this is for those home-based quilters. You want that professional grade equipment that's easy to use and allows you to do everything that you're looking to do with quilting, and it really enables you to do that.
Right. I'd kind of compare a quilting experience to a baking experience. How many of you have one of those beautiful KitchenAid stand mixers at home? I do. Why do we use it? Because it's easy. We can mix all our ingredients. We can knead our dough. It has everything that we want. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of things with just a wooden spoon. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of things with our little hand mixer. They're not strong enough or powerful enough, but our KitchenAid stand mixer can do it. It's the kind of comparing that to our quilting machines. We want the best tools, for the job that we're doing. So I'm a firm believer, our machines, our frames, these are the best tools out there.
Speaking of things that are along the same line, I was just thinking about my KitchenAid. I used it yesterday. We did a company bake-off and sort of cookie exchange. And my KitchenAid, I got one that is a beautiful blue color. It's actually very similar to this one. And I got it because it was gorgeous, but also it's so useful at the same time.
Mine is this color.
It's cute.
Love it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to just get a white one or a black one because it's I get happy when I use it. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's a beautiful stand mixer right there. And it makes me excited to bake. So it really does. It makes a difference. So everyone loves their KitchenAid. They're great.
Yes.
The 19, absolutely fantastic machine. Also, lots of different options for spacing sizes. Now, outside of these frames here, this one does actually fit on the Cutie frame too. If you're like, oh, I really don't have space, there is that option. And there's lots of videos out there talking about the Cutie frame that you can go check out. But
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say our focus is on these two frames right here.
Yes.
I was just mentioning, if you're like, oh, no, Jarek, I really don't have 1.5 feet. Well, we still have an option for you.
Yes.
So.
just kind of building on that, what I love about our products is so many products can interchange, from machine to frame, vice versa. All of our machines, all of our frames, again, current models, they're all compatible with our automation. Machines and frames are compatible, interchangeable amongst themselves. So there's so many ways to customize, what you want, what to help continue just your quilting journey and what will be easier for you. Now, I do know we have some fantastic prices with what we've talked about today. So again, just to refresh memories, the 19X machine on the Qzone hoop frame and the Qzone queen frame. Kennedy, let's go ahead and bring you back in. I just want to know, did you happen to see any questions that we may have missed in the comments? Let's start there.
Well, first off, what Jarek said about his UFOs, I have never related to more. I have one quilt top that has been sitting in a bag for probably the past year, and I look at it and I'm like, tomorrow, that's a tomorrow issue.
Hey, Kennedy,
So, yes.
I know a place where you can get a 19X machine and a frame. Let's talk
Wow,
after
that's
the
really
show.
convenient.
I'm gonna have to give you a call.
really
And then
convenient.
something else, the KitchenAid mixer, that's the most amazing way you can compare a long arm machine. You said that, and I'm like, you were genius.
Right?
You were genius. And
I have my
everybody's like,
moments.
yes. Oh, it was so good. I'm like, yes, I use my KitchenAid. It's essential. And, same thing with the long arms. You need something that you can rely on, that isn't going to give you any problems, give you any trouble. And the 19X is truly that. I mean, it's the perfect blend of all the worlds. It's right in the middle,
Yes.
and compared to size and the whole middle child thing, I loved that. I just watched Home Alone the other night, so I'm like, how, you guys know. But no, it's so great. And the 19X, every time I use it, I know people were commenting about the small screen. You can always add robotics on top later down the line. Grace has amazing robotics that just blow my mind. But I honestly love that smaller screen because it has everything you need, super simple to see and lay out. And, even when I get new iPhones, I'm like, how do I call someone? How do I do this? All the new updates, I'm just so confused. But having just all of it right on the screen for you, you can easily just go from whatever mode you want to. I think that is so perfect. I love that.
I find in myself, and I'll say, from talking to other customers as well, yes, I love the larger screen on some of our other machines, but sometimes I feel it's almost a distraction. It's right there, it's right in your face, you can't miss it. But there's so much focus. Oh, it has a big screen. It's like, yeah, but the screen isn't doing the quilting for you.
Yeah.
The machine is. You have the same, functions between the two screens. Again, budget friendly with the smaller screen. I love it. It's the machine I would take home.
Also, I would say the perspective of like where we are right now, I think maybe doesn't do it justice, because in person, when you see it, you're like, okay, no, like that's a good size.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. When I first started working here, I didn't know the whole world of long arms, and I had no idea. And once I started really looking into it, it was so intriguing. I've always talked about one of the big things that I want to make is a quilted jacket. And I couldn't see why you couldn't do it on there with all the fabric lined up, just quilt it on and then cut your pieces out. That to me, and at least in my head, seems easier than doing it on a domestic machine, on a home machine. It just seems like a lot more work. And to you guys' point about the whole ergonomic situation, it's really nice to be able to stand. I'm a sit and stand type of sewer, so sometimes I want to sit and sometimes I want to stand. So you can definitely do that with the long arm as well. There's so many options. And I love with Grace, I'm going on a whole tangent because I love your guys' machine so much.
It's a good tangent.
But I love that all of your machines are for different types of quilters. So, you have the 19X, which is perfect for still that smaller space, can go on the cutie. The hoop frame is amazing, by the way. I'm such a fan of that one. But then you can go up to the 21, or you can go down to the 16. It's for every different type of person. So if you're at home watching this today and you're like, well, I don't know if I could do a 19 or maybe I want bigger and better, they have so many options for you that truly will work for each home-based quilter.
Yes. Awesome. Love it.
Yes, I
And
need
you
to
know,
order my
can-
shirt.
Yeah, you do. Come on, where is it at?
I do. I saw it on the website the other day and I'm like, I need to order that right now. I need
Yeah.
to.
Awesome. So,
Yes.
we could talk all day
Oh, really?
about our machines,
Oh my
our
gosh.
frames, all of our products. They're amazing. They're for the everyday quilter, the home-based quilter, even somebody who's quilting for a business, can use and benefit with our products. They're
Absolutely.
designed for everybody. So I know
Yeah.
you have some fantastic prices
I
to
do.
go over. I'm excited. I'm super glad that I reached out and said, hey, Kennedy,
Of
let's do a
course.
Takeover Tuesday. I love
Yes.
these products. So take it away.
I do. And one more point before I let you guys
Oh,
go.
yes.
You were talking about money falling off trees. Totally relate. But I think 2024 is really going to be the year of the side hustle. And a side hustle can absolutely be started with these machines. So might be some good return on investment. You never know. Just putting some ideas in your guys' ears. But thank you guys so much for coming on and joining me today. This was such a fun takeover, and I, again, could talk about this all day. I love these machines, and I could just mess around with them all day long. They're the best. All right.
Well, we were
Thanks for having us,
yep.
Kennedy.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Take
You
care.
guys, have a good new year. Stay safe. I'm going to tell everybody how they can get these machines, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
right.
Melinda, I'm talking to you soon.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was so much fun. I'm the chatty Kathy of SMP. I like to say I love to sit here and just talk with everyone. But these machines specifically, I really, really, really love to talk about because there's so much potential, right? So I'm going to just quickly show you what we've got going on with this 19X right here. So as they were saying, these are recertified, but don't let that stop you because these machines are spick and span, perfectly serviced. Jarek was talking about he worked in the sewing lab. He tested these machines, went through it with a fine-tooth comb. There's so much opportunity with these, and at the discount that they're at, it's pretty amazing. So let's show you real quick. Now, with this today, Melinda was so kind enough to offer a nice little notions package. So with the 19X specifically, we have that discount for the recertified 19X. You're also going to get your free choice of frames. So you got the hoop frame or you've got that Qzone queen frame. I'm so sorry I'm butchering this, but you've got the choice. So if you have a smaller space and you want just a compact compact frame. It's not embroidery, Kennedy. Come on. If you want a more compact frame or you don't have a big enough space to fit that 8 to 10 foot frame, no problem. Grace has worked on this for you. So you've got that machine and you're getting that free frame, and they've thrown in some great little notions here and there for you. So you're getting bobbins, you're getting needles, and you're getting an 8-pack of their finesse thread, which is personally probably one of my favorite quilting threads that is out there. It's sturdy. I've never had really any problems with it when I'm testing these machines out in the store at our San Marcos retail store. There is just so many amazing things. And right now, especially with the new year coming, and like I was saying, this coming year might be the year of the side hustle and, starting a little side business. So if that's something that speaks to you, this might be your opportunity. Now, I'm going to share my screen to our website just really quick because we do also have we have other models of the recertified machines. So maybe if the 19X is too big for you and you need a smaller one, we also do have the 16X, which is right here. So you've got a nice discount on those as well. And I did see a comment about what does recertified mean. So recertified with Grace specifically with these machines is they could have been classroom models. So somebody might have used them for a class and, put a few stitches on them, did one quilt here and there, or they had the floor models of stores, they get sent back. But what they do is they go through this with a fine-tooth comb, as Melinda was saying, and they really, really, really go through, make sure all of the parts are up to par. They test it, they go through it, they make sure that it's cleaned out, and any, scratches or anything like that, any blemishes are fixed, and they all have, basically they're brand new machines, just revived. They went through the sewing lab and they got a little, what's the word? They got a little spa day. But we also have that 16X, so I'm just showing you that here. And if we go back, we've got one more. We actually are selling out of these like crazy. So I just want to let you guys know that like this one, we've only got 3 in stock of the 21X Elite. So if you are looking for a long arm deal today, please jump on these. With the 19X specifically, that's where you're going to be able to get the special. So this one right here, that model only is coming with that Notions package in the free frame. So highly, highly, highly recommend you guys jump on the bandwagon and start your year with a new machine. It's so exciting. And I want to give you guys the best options that we have. And when I was chatting with Melinda about this, I said, oh, no way. This is not real. I'm like, I'm thinking about starting a side hustle myself. My goodness, that is just a great, great package. And thank you to Grace for being so amazing and coming on the show today. Melinda and Jarek are hilarious. The things that they were saying earlier, I was sitting back watching, and they're just so fun to watch. They are just so positive and so great. So definitely would love to have them back on the show. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Oh gosh. Stephen Norma Kaufman asked how my finals went for school. If you guys didn't know, I just finished another semester at college, and it went okay. We definitely tried. But it's all good. With countdown to Christmas and everything happening, it just was definitely very, very hectic past few months. But it is all good because, hey, I'm here and I get to talk to you and I get to show you guys some of the great things that we've going on over here at SMP. So, all right, guys. Well, with all that, Marion Fox also just asked if I'm ready for Christmas. And no, I am not. I'm scrambling getting ready for Christmas, mainly because my family is kind of hard to shop for. When you obviously know your family, but then once it gets to finding a gift for them, you're like, what do I get? What do I get for them? I'm so indecisive. We'll see. We'll see how Christmas goes, guys. I'm sure you guys can relate to. I feel like something in the air this year has just been craziness. But let's finish off today's show with some giveaways because it has been so long since I've been able to do some giveaways with you all. So we're going to do that today. All right. First up, we are going to do a sew mat. We're doing a sew mat today. Let me get some music on so we can get some jams going. All right. So you know them, you love them. We've got our famous SMP sew mats here. They are amazing. I've got them under all of my machines over here at the studio. And today is going to be your lucky day. Can you guys tell I've had my coffee today? I'm like, my voice is just too much caffeine. But one of you is going to win one of these sew mats today. I'm so excited to give one of these away. Maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see how we're feeling. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's give away some sew mats. Okay. Let's spin. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Bum, 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 bum. Lots of choices in colors and sizes, Squirrel Jam. You just won an SMP sew mat of your choice. So if you'd like to claim that, head to smplive.tv, fill out that form, let us know what color and what size you want. We've got all the colors available to go look at on the website. So go check those out and pick what you want and let us know, and we'll ship it right to your door. All right, let's do another one. I love her username, Squirrel Jam. That's so good. Desiree, congratulations, Desiree. You just won a sew mat of your choice. And I just saw you comment with your fingers crossed. So, hey, it worked. You won. All right. Head to smplive.tv to claim that prize. Let us know what color and what size you want. And once you get that form filled out, we will send you a sew mat right to your door. Okay. You know what? We're going to do one more. Just one more, because it's been so long. Okay. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? You are so welcome, Squirrel Jam. I'm so glad that you won. Woohoo. The dyed quilter, and I believe that is Leah. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, but congratulations. You have just won a sew mat of your choice. So if you'd like to claim that, head to smplive.tv. Scroll down to the bottom, fill out the information, let us know what color and what size you want. Let me know if you're Leah. I'm could be wrong. I see a lot of names, but I think you're Leah. So congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Next up, we're going to do some gift cards because they're so amazing. And I love being able to do this, for you guys and do gift cards because that way you can really go and get what you need. If you need to stock up on something, if there is, a certain type of thread that you need or anything like that, I want you to go be able to get what you need and stock up. So let's spin and see who's going to win this $100 gift card. Santa Kennedy. I love it. I love it. Blaine isn't here today, so I could go crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Debbie Shaw, congratulations. You have just won a $100 gift card. Now, if you'd like that gift card, head to smplive.tv, fill out the information. The most important thing that we need for the gift card, I'm losing my train of thought, for the gift card is your email. So just fill that out and we will email you a gift card code. So that way you can use that in checkout and get $100 off your order. Woohoo! All right, guys, we're going crazy today. We're doing one more. Woohoo! It's just been too long. I miss doing it. And you guys are going to enable me, of course. So it's perfect. It works out. Hey, Jude. Oh, hey, Jude. Okay. You just won a $100 gift card. So if you'd like to claim that, head to smplive.tv, fill out the information. Most important thing, again, is just the email. So that way we can email you that gift card code. But fill it out. Let us know that you won the gift card. We'll email you that gift card code and you can get shopping. Woohoo! All right, guys. I just want to let you know, I will have to check. I'll post an update in the Facebook group if we are behind on giveaways, because I know with Countdown to Christmas, we'll have a little bit of catching up to do. I got some messages over the weekend. I'm still catching up. So if you messaged us or you messaged me personally over Countdown to Christmas, I will get back to you. I promise. I saw the messages, and again, with the whole week and everything, it's just been a little bit hectic over here, but I will get back to you and get your messages. But with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode of Takeover Tuesday. I had so much fun, and it's been so long since I've had a guest on here, and we've gotten to just chat and just talk about these amazing machines. Now, I do want to let you know, if you want to snatch up one of these 19X machines, go get it now. So you can call in all of I could pick you up and walk you over to our sales desks, but I've got my whole setup here, but they are all waiting and ready to take your call and help you with any questions. And if you do have more questions, obviously I can't sit here. I'd love to sit and answer all your questions, but if there's one that I missed, give us a call. Our sales specialists are ready to help you and assist you, and they get it. They understand that it's a big purchase, and they want you to make sure that you have everything you need and that all your questions get answered. So go check it out. And there's so much going on. And even if you're just looking to stock up on some things for Christmas, I know we're cutting down on time for things to be delivered before Christmas, but if there is some things on your wish list, please let us know and go shop on there and just go browse. Do yourself a favor. You deserve it. Treat yourself with something nice this Christmas, just for yourself, because you all are amazing. I see how much effort you put in to coming to watch these shows every week and hanging out with us. I mean, I know so many of you guys by name that you deserve something special, okay? You do. All right. Well, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, all of the holidays happening this year. I hope you have a safe holiday season, and I hope you have a great new year. And I believe there will be a show on Thursday. So I'm seeing the questions. Yes, unless it's a holiday, but I don't think it is. So yes, there will be a show on Thursday. But again, I hope you guys just take a break, relax, just have some downtime, maybe get an extra hour of sleep, whatever it is. This year has just been a wild year and craziness. So I really, really hope that you guys take some time for yourselves, make something special, and just put some time for yourself this year. All right? Well, again, happy holidays, you guys. I will miss you so much. I should be back next Tuesday. All right? We're counting on next Tuesday. Okay. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Again, check out those deals with Grace. They are really, really amazing. And I will see you guys very, very soon. All right. See you later. Bye. Oh, and eat some good Christmas food for me. Okay. All right. That's your homework assignment for Takeover Tuesday. Okay. Goodbye for reals. All right. Bye, guys.